Would you like to understand what we as adults can learn from children in order to survive in times of chaos? For example, now during this COVID-19 outbreak. Then listen to this entire video and give this video a thumbs up, give it a like, and subscribe to my channel if you'd like to learn more about how to reduce the suffering in life. Alright, so children, when they're young, they are brought into a world which they essentially don't understand yet. They are unsure of why certain things occur, why people behave certain ways, and why, for example, one day their parents fight and the other day they don't, and the reasons why they fight. They just don't understand it. Now, they sort of accept it. They accept this fact that they don't understand it, which I'll talk about a bit later. So, they essentially live in a world of chaos. They cannot predict how people will act or what will occur necessarily. Like I said, why are mum and dad fighting? The parents might give them an answer, but it may not logically make sense, so they just they don't understand it, and well, they can't really do much about it, and they sort of accept that. So chaos is quite anxiety-provoking because you don't understand it, and humans have this instinct to try to understand everything, to map out and predict reality, because that reduces uncertainty, and uncertainty is quite scary for humans, so they try to focus on reducing uncertainty. And whenever there is some sort of peace, harmony, or order, or they feel protected, the kids just appreciate it so much. They just live in the moment and absorb the love. For example, if you give them ice cream on a Sunday afternoon, watching TV at home, they just they love it. They absolutely love it. And you can see that in their excitement when you say, should we go to the park? Should we play football outside? Just something they understand, something fun. They just love it. And their appreciation, their gratitude is immense. Which is not the same with humans. Now, why are kids so grateful? It's because they get a glimpse of peace and order, something they understand, and where they feel protected, and where the chaos of life, the uncertainty, is kept at bay. And that's wonderful for a human. Hence, they appreciate it. Now, they live in the moment so much because what's the point for them to stress about a future they don't understand? And that's what we can learn from kids, is that if we don't understand the future, which we essentially never really do, to be honest, just live in the moment and trust the path, the journey, because there's no point in worrying or being anxious about something you simply cannot control, which is the future, to a degree. So they just enjoy the moment, because the kids, that's essentially all they have to enjoy. So they're just sitting on the couch, eating ice cream and watching TV, love it. And they appreciate the little things, because these little things like playing football, going to the park, eating ice cream, they're little, in the eyes of an adult, but they mean the world to the kids, because they keep the uncertainty at bay. They're fun. They also appreciate it so much because they don't know a lot about reality. Let's say they accept that they are ignorant because they can't do anything else really, and that changes as they get older. As adults grow up or teenagers grow up, you start building a serious ego, and you start to. It's not cool to admit that you don't know something. Hence, you try to act like you know everything, and then this curiosity dies within the individual, because if you don't know something, maybe you're curious then to go and find out and understand it. But if you just admit or you deceive yourself that you know it all, then you're not curious anymore automatically. But kids have this because they know they don't know a lot, and they just any sort of something they could understand or they do understand, they love that. It's just they absorb it fully. And it's another thing we can learn from the kids is this curiosity and this excitement, this sort of desire for adventure. And I think all of those things stem from an urge to understand the world. That's curiosity. And it's sort of aligned with, Socrates' saying, I think it's something along the lines of, the only thing I know is that I know nothing. It's this humility in that you really understand very little in this universe. And if you can continue that mindset into your adult years, I think you progress far further and at a faster pace than your peers, because you're open to new knowledge and you subordinate your ego, and you're curious then. And if you're curious, you can learn and you go on adventure, you build your personality, you grow, you get out of your comfort zone. And that tendency, that mindset does die in adults, because it's not seen as cool, or let's say it's looked down upon to be ignorant, whereas knowingly ignorant, consciously ignorant, might be beneficial, because then you take the first step in learning. Because if that's not there, then you don't learn. Because I have an example, like I'm at university, and if you're in a lecture and the professor asks a question, it's not cool or good to raise your hand and say, I don't know, because you're looked down upon as ignorant, and that's weak, at first sight. And this blocks growth, and I think this is present in many adults, because we value understanding reality. We try to map it out because it reduces existential anxiety, and that's valued. And if you don't have that, because you seemingly appear ignorant, then you are looked down upon. Maybe you're seen as sort of immature, still like a child, and being immature is maybe to some degree seen as undesirable, because that you're still a child and you're not an adult. You're not grown up, and that's not necessarily very good on a societal level, because then you block the lifelong learning of the individuals. Hence, so what can we learn from kids? We can learn to be curious, admit that we know very little in life, and enjoy the small things, because in reality those things may not be there forever. If you're in order now, where everybody in your family is healthy, that's a blessing. It really is, because the amount of things that could go wrong in your body is so high. I mean, just count the number of organs, the number of cells that could get cancer. That's each of those is an opportunity to get cancer. It's a blessing if you're healthy. It really is. So if one can remind oneself of that and just enjoy the small moments, like going out for a walk with your family, that's where there's some sort of order, like a glimpse of peace and harmony in this world of chaos. It's not in I think that's to be learned from kids. So please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel again if you'd like to learn more about how to reduce the suffering of life and learn more, I would say, life wisdoms perhaps. Thank you for listening.